Okay, in all fairness to the Corolla Cross, going to point out some things that Toyota does better than Chevy. It's going to be the back seat, kids. So, the cup holder here on the Toyota is more useful. The rear space is comparable almost. There's less legroom, but there are AC vents here and power outlets here. In the Chevy, there's no AC outlets. The infotainment system, I know, is a big preference as far as the wireless Android Auto. It's just something, it's a step back. You don't want that. But one thing I will give the Toyota is the radar cruise control. Works great. Absolutely fantastic. I don't have that on mine because the sensors were not in stock when my car was built. So I can't compare it directly to Chevy. But again, I'd say the safety tech is actually better than Chevy. As far as what's in this car and what's in mine, I have the top of the line, but because I don't have that one package, convenience package with the sensors, I don't have blind spot mirrors, which this does. And my adaptive cruise control is not adaptive. It's just cruise control. It's minor issues, but it's the type of issues that other buyers may say, "Hey, this is the car for me over the Chevy." The Chevy is more fun to drive. This has as much power as the Chevy. It's just a matter of how it's sensed, I guess. The steering on this is it's like a Buick, for Christ's sake. It's like a 20-year-old Buick. The whole thing wallows a little. And I realize I have low profile tires on 19-inch rims, and this does not. I do not know if they have a sporty trim of the Corolla Cross like the RS and 2RS, well, the 2RSs on the tracks. But if I'm going to try and give this an honest review, this is not a bad little car. It's. I said it was an appliance yesterday, and that's why people buy Toyotas, because they work. Soulless, no fun, but they work. I mean, it's got an automatic transmission just like mine, except for it's a CVT. The three-cylinder has a more pleasing sound to it. I know that sounds odd. I've heard other people online say, a three-cylinder sounds like half a V6 and sounds a little raspy, and it does. The four-cylinder sounds more clattery. It's not a great sound. I've driven plenty of four-cylinders. My other vehicle is a four-cylinder Ford Escape, but that one has a turbo, and again, that has the low-end torque that this thing lacks. Again, I had considered a Toyota Corolla Cross price-wise when I went shopping. They were about $5,000 more than a Chevy Trax, and not for a fancy one probably like this. So it's okay. I mean, it's a rental car, but I wonder. I mean, this has a fair amount of kit. It has a safety kit, which is great. Which, like I said, I have to admit, the blind spot and the adaptive cruise control, I wish I had them on mine. And everything feels fairly well screwed together, but it comes down to the feeling of the steering wheel, the feeling of the steering, the too much play, the slight wallowing when you're going around. It leans. It's not very sporty. I know it's not supposed to be, but you know what? Neither is a Trax, really. It's an entry level car. The fact that it feels a little sporty is a real compliment to the engineers at GM Korea. They've done a great job on that car. But like I said, useful coffee holder, cup holder. In the Trax, it's a pocket down here, and it's not, and air vents. So putting kids back here is perfect. I would not want to sit back here for an hour, honestly. So I just wanted to update and clarify my opinion on the Corolla Cross.